Hello friends, and welcome to this yoga practice for perfectionists. Now, I made this practice for myself because it's a practice I need on a daily basis, and I hope it's a practice that blesses you as well. For those of us who tend towards perfectionism, we also tend to be the kind of people who go all in right away. Give 100% effort or nothing at all. Pain is just sort of this annoying little thing in the background that we push through to get where we want to go, right? But the body doesn't work quite that way. If we push through our pain, we don't get into this magical land of no pain. We end up injuring ourselves. We end up numbing ourselves to the sensation in our body, ignoring what our body's trying to tell us, and that often leads to injury. And in a spiritual sense, it leads us to disconnection from God because God doesn't just exist out there, God exists in here, right? The Bible tells us that we are temples of God's Spirit. And so by ignoring sensation, by pushing through the pain, by just chasing our agenda, by focusing on being perfect above all else, we miss out on the goodness and the presence of God. So in this practice, we're going to be focusing a lot on our upper body. This tends to be a place where we hold a lot of the burden of being perfect, of getting it right, of doing it 100%. So we're going to get into this area quite a bit. But my invitation throughout this whole practice is for you not to move to your full range of motion, not to move until you can really feel the burn or whatever it is. I want you to move in the realm of movement that feels easy and good and safe for your body. Now, this practice might be the hardest practice you've ever done because I'm asking you to pull back, to withhold from giving 100%. Now, this isn't a practice we're meant to adopt our whole lives, but just for this video, just for this time on your mat, can you practice moving differently? Can you practice paying attention to your body differently and just see what the Lord might want to teach you and give to you? So here's how we're going to start our practice. I've got 2 bath towels here, not fancy, to sit on top of because we're going to start this practice in a seated position. We're going to drop in and connect with our breath and start slow. So I want you to get really comfortable to begin with. Stack up a couple of blankets or towels or pillows. I'm going to lean against the wall, right? These things might not be choices I would make in a regular practice when I'm like, I'm here to get a good workout. I'm here to give 100%. I can muscle through it and become a really great meditator. No, I'm going to be kind and gentle to my body today. And my body is saying, can you please just lean against a wall instead of trying to sit up perfectly straight for 5 minutes? So I'm stacking up 2 bath towels. I'm going to scoop myself against a wall. And this is where I'm going to begin practice. But you find a posture that feels comfortable in your body. Settle into it. And let's begin and do some yoga. Hello, friend. I hope that you have found your way to a comfortable seated position. Comfortable being the key word. So you stacked up your hips so that your hips are slightly higher than your knees. Maybe you're leaning up against a wall so that you can feel the length in your spine without the muscles in your back starting to tense and tire and it becomes hard work. Remember, there is a time and a place for hard work. And just for this practice, we're going to choose to work differently, working with compassion and kindness and ease. So as you sit here, if it feels safe and comfortable in your body, can you close your eyes? Become aware of the sensation of your seat on the support underneath you. And from your seat, feel your legs becoming heavy and grounded. See now if you can just really slightly lift your ribs a bit farther away from your pelvis so that your spine becomes a bit longer. But in doing so, take care not to stick your ribs forward or jut your chin forward or put in so much effort that the ease of your breathing becomes more strained. When we sit up tall, our hope is that we can make more space for breath, more space for God's presence, more space for connection and love. Feel just softly, without any kind of physical effort, but just with your imagination and your breath, feel your collarbones widen and your shoulders heavy and your chest become ever slightly more expansive. And then as you soften your jaw and your tongue in your mouth, as you unsquint your eyes, soften your forehead skin, can you find a sense of landing and presence in your body and this space? Jesus says in Matthew 11:28-30, "Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Come to me. I won't give you a new way to work. I won't give you answers. I won't give you extra strength. No, I will give you rest. Come to Jesus now and let him give you rest. Take a really deep breath in. Really long breath out. And again, just like that. Slow, long breath in. Slow, easy breath out. Once more. Don't make this the biggest breath you've made today. Just make it a full breath in. A nourishing breath out. All right, let's start to move our neck here. So slowly drop your chin into your chest. Don't go as far as you can go. Don't go until you feel pain. Go where you can move easily without any pain or pinching or pressure. And then with your chin, draw a line across your collarbones over to your left shoulder. Slowly draw your chin back to the center and draw that line over to your right shoulder. Again, not pushing, just noticing. Good, come back to the center and go over to the left again. And then once your chin is as far left as it's going to go today, start to dip your head back behind you, lifting your chin up to the ceiling, and draw a circle over to the right side. And then slowly lower your chin, trace a line from your right shoulder down back into the center of your chest. Let's go like this in the opposite direction. So chin over to the right. Start to slowly lift your chin up, opening your throat, drawing an easy circle over to the left side. Do this with 10% effort and trust that there's value and goodness in that as you draw your chin back down into your chest. Take one more round of that. So chin over to the left, making a circle in that direction, and then over to the right in that direction. And not trying to push your body into pain. Pushing through pain doesn't get us into the land of no pain. No, pushing through pain teaches us to numb ourselves to sensation, to ignore our body's signals that this isn't safe for us. And so what happens when we push through pain and we learn how to numb ourselves and we learn how to ignore our body, it leads us to injury. Right? And then we blame our body for letting us down when the whole time our body was like, hello, I was trying to talk to you. Listen. How is God trying to get your attention through the sensation in your body and your response to it? How can you move today with less effort? And trust that just for today, just for this practice, becoming aware of your range of movement, of where it feels safe and easeful to connect with sensation, with your body, with God, that God has something to teach you, somewhere to meet you. Finish whatever round you're on. Take your time. We'll meet back in the center with your ears stacked over your shoulders. Take a really slow, long breath in and an easy breath out, welcoming the rest that God has for you. Let's roll our shoulders now. This is a place for me that's so sticky and crunchy, and I want to just push through intense sensation, but can you just roll in a range of movement that feels easy? Can you trust that God will meet you here even without you putting out max effort? Good. Roll your shoulders around the other direction. Good. Heavy your shoulders down now. And let's come forward onto our hands and our knees. If you want the blanket under your knees for a little extra padding, awesome. What would be the kind, gentle, generous thing to do for your practice today? Choose that. From table, we're going to move through cat and cow, but this often, if you practice yoga regularly, this is something we do often, and so we can just check out of the movement or just kind of move through it at our pace and beyond and be over it. But I want us to move through it so slowly today, like annoyingly slowly, so that you notice sensation. We'll start by flexing our spine. So start by curling your tailbone underneath you. See if you can just round through your sacrum, your sacroiliac joint, your low back, engaging your core muscles to squeeze out a little bit more rounding. And then can you slowly bring that rounding up into your middle back? Slower still, round into your upper back between your shoulder blades. And then the very last thing to round will be your neck as you slowly draw your chin in. Stay here, right? Take a breath or two here. See if you can round out a little bit more movement, but only within the space that is available to you to move without pain. Let's reverse this now. So starting again from your tailbone, move into extension of your spine. So lift your tailbone up. Like a wave, really slowly receding, can you extend your spine into your low back? Slowly through your middle back, your upper back, feeling your shoulder blades retract and your chin extend forward. And then again, we'll do this one more time, slowly rounding your spine. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Let go of the need to perfect this movement. If you're finished with your rounding with your full cat, find cow slowly, curiously, compassionately. Notice what your body is speaking to you about how it's feeling today. Notice if through that, God wants to speak to you about what you need today and what He has for your rest. When you are finished with your full cow, tuck your toes, lift your knees and hips, and come to downward facing dog. Don't worry about this being a perfect downward dog. Don't worry about this being the most effortful, strong downward dog. Let's hold it together for just one more breath and then we'll be done with it. Good. Widen your feet just slightly on your mat and then walk your hands back to your feet so that you're hanging in a fold at the back of your mat. If you'd like to grab onto your elbows here, that might feel nice, or you can let your arms sway. My one invitation for you in forward fold is to not lock your knees. Put a little bend in them so that you can feel the backs of your legs stretch and your low belly make contact with your thighs. Take a long exhale and let that exhale be a full surrendering and a letting go of the need to perfect or perform. Beautiful. Now slide your hands up to your knees and round your way up like we just did in cat, but in a dynamic sort of way. So you're rounding all the way upright into a straight, neutral spine. Once you are fully upright, stretch your arms over your head as you breathe in, and then bring your hands to your heart as you breathe out. We're going to start to work even more into our neck and our shoulders and our upper back here. We're going to do that by eagle wrapping our arms. So what this will look like is bending your elbows, bring them out so that they're straight out from your shoulders. Your wrists are right over your elbows, so you've got two 90-degree shapes here. or 190-degree shape. 190. Okay. Geometry, right? All right. Elbows out in front of you. Take your right elbow, hook it underneath your left elbow, and bring the backs of your forearms and backs of your hands to touch. Now, if this is not accessible in your body, if you find yourself just crossing at your forearm or wrists, then instead what you'll do is press your palms and your forearms together like so. All right, so if hooking your elbows doesn't feel good for you, if it's too much effort, just press your forearms and your palms together. All right, if you've got the eagle wrap in your arms, again, you can stay here. Maybe you wrap it one more time and your palms touch. Choosing to do less rather than more. Whatever kind of wrap or compression of your arms you have, see if you can lift your elbows up and then start to circle them around in a counterclockwise direction. Good. And then circle around the other way. Your circle may be super tiny. Be okay with that. Good. Keep your arms just as they are, but bring them back to center. Take a small step forward with your left foot, and we're going to tip into an easy warrior 3. So reach your right foot back behind you and lift it off the floor. Start to tip your upper body forwards. Again, maybe 40% effort here. And now lower your right foot next to your left foot. So you'll be standing a little bit farther forward on your mat. Unwrap your arms and open them out wide alongside of you, like you've got 2 goalposts or cactus arms. And just feel the stretch between each elbow, the widening across your collarbones. Without forcing any more space, can you take a deep breath in to find expansion through breath, through God's gift of life and rest? Good. Bring your elbows back out in front of you, and we're going to wrap the opposite arm underneath. So your left elbow will wrap under your right, or again, just squeeze your forearms together if that's where you're working today. We'll start to draw a circle first in a clockwise direction. Easefully, generously. Good, and then switch the direction of your circle. Beautiful. Keep your arms just in the position they are. Bring them back to center. Now step forward with your right foot as you reach your left foot back for some expression of warrior 3. Reaching through your back foot, gazing forward, and then stand upright, both feet next to each other. Unwind or uncompress your arms. Bring them out wide into this cactus shape and breathe. Feel the heavy burden that you have been carrying on your shoulders and your neck melt away. Good. Bring your hands together at heart center. Take a nice big breath in. Nice big breath out. All right, if you're not standing at the top of your mat, just walk on up to the top. Good. And then take a breath in. Stretch both arms overhead. As you exhale, bring your hands back to your heart and step your left foot to the back of your mat and sort of wide. We're coming into warrior 1. So your back foot's going to angle towards the front left corner of your mat as you bend into your right knee. And then draw your right hip back slightly as you nudge your left hip forward slightly so your hips are pointing forward. Keep pressing down into your left foot, and then instead of getting caught up in how perfect this is and how much muscular engagement and how much effort you're putting in, can you relax? Hold the integrity of the shape, but choose less effort. Okay, bring your arms back out into that cactus shape. We're going to work our shoulder mobility a bit more here. Keeping your elbows exactly where they are, start to lower your forearms so now your palms face the back of your mat. And then lift them back up. That's our movement. 2 more times like this. Lower your forearms, press them back. Lift your forearms, press them forward. Once more, lower them down. And lift them back up. Nice. Okay, this time lower your forearms. Keep your palms facing back, but hug your elbows into your sides. So now your palms face in. You've got like little T-Rex arms. Elbow squeezing into your sides, but extend your forearms so now your hands reach back behind you. All right, maybe you can easily interlace your fingers behind your back here. Maybe that feels impossible. If it feels easy, do it. If it feels hard, don't do it. Keep reaching your fingers back, finding the expansion through your chest, whatever that looks like for you. And then start to bow your chest forward, coming into this modified humble warrior. Maybe you bow forward 3 inches. Maybe your chest comes inside your thigh. What would it look like to do this with less effort? All right, stand all the way back up. Reach both arms overhead. Really nice big breath in. And then as you exhale, bring your hands together at your heart and lift your back heel off the floor. So now you're in a high lunge shape. This can be tricky to balance in. I find that squeezing my inner thighs towards the center helps me do that, but let's not disconnect from the sensation in our body by just muscling through. Find where your body is in space and use a little bit of inner thigh engagement to help hold you steady. Maybe you stay here, or maybe you start to twist your torso over to the right side. Hips, pelvis, legs stay stable, but the middle of your spine is going to rotate over to the right. Again, could be a small amount or a big amount. Good. Untwist. Come back to the center. And then step your left foot behind your right foot. So now you're standing in a cross-legged shape. Soft bend in your knees and fold yourself forward. Hands can come to a bed, a chair, a couch, something in front of you, or they can hang down towards the floor. Choose not to push through pain in this shape, where you feel the edge, the sensation in your body, your nervous system starting to wave its alarm bells that will feel like your breath starting to constrict, then back off. Choose to do less and discover where God will meet you in that space. All right, uncross your legs. So bring your back leg forward next to your right leg. So you're standing with both feet evenly on the floor, but you're going to be kind of on one side of your mat. Be okay with that. This is part of the practice, right? Letting go of perfection. Inhale to rise all the way up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands back together at your heart. Let's do this sequence on the other side. So step your right foot back into warrior one. Wide on your mat so it's super easy for your hips to square to the front. Bending into your left knee, pressing down through the back edge of your right foot. Bring your elbows out alongside you for this cactus shape. Take a moment here just to heavy your tailbone a little bit farther down towards your back heel so you find a bit of length in your low back. And now start to lower your forearms, palms face the back of your space. Lift them back up. Connect your breath with this. On your exhale, lower them down. On your inhale, lift them up. One more round, exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift them up. Nice. This time as you exhale, lower them down. Also bring your biceps alongside your ribs. Palms face in, T-Rex arms. Palms keep facing in, but just straighten your elbows. Reach your fingertips back behind you. Maybe this is where you stay. Maybe you interlace fingers. Maybe you grab elbows. What would it look like to open your chest with kindness? Bow forwards now, hinging at your hips into your expression of humble warrior. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, press into the mat, rise all the way up, arms lift overhead. Exhale, hands come together at your heart. Lift your right heel off the mat now so you're in a high lunge. Take a moment to balance yourself. Take a moment to breathe. And then on your exhale, can you twist to the left side, staying upright and just using your breath to turn yourself. Really nice. After your next exhale, come back to the center. We're going to step our right foot behind our left foot now. Really hug back knee into your right knee into the back of your left knee. And then with soft knees, fold yourself back forwards. This side will probably feel different. We say that all the time, but what would it look like to really honor that? So nice. All right, uncross your legs. Place your hands on the floor. Step back into a plank, but right away lower your knees down and lower all the way to your belly. We're going to come into a modified Sphinx shape. So in Sphinx, normally our elbows would be right underneath our shoulders, but that's a pretty decent back bend that I'm not sure we're totally ready for right now. So let's slide our elbows a little bit farther forward so they're more at like a 45-degree angle. Still keep feeling the principles of your back bend here. So your lower belly, your navel, your sternum are reaching down and forward and up. And then soften your shoulders back. Can you draw your chin in just slightly so the back of your neck feels long? And then just like we did at the start of our practice, let's find those easy neck rolls. So slowly roll your chin or drop your chin down into your chest. Let's go over to the right side first. Really gently lift your chin up, only moving within the realm of movement that is possible, that feels good and easy and pain-free. And slowly back down to the center, and then one round opposite direction going over to the left. Friend, we've sat in our pain for long enough, so let's choose to not practice in our pain. Let's let go of any expectation we have of what this practice should look like, of what our bodies should do, and be with where we are, because this is where God is. He's not waiting for us to get better at yoga or more flexible or more mobile. No, God is here. Good. All right, if you're finished with your round, let's lower down onto the mat and just rest. So bring your forearms all the way down. Rest your head on your arms. If this feels claustrophobic or panicky for you, then just roll over onto your back. We'll all go on our backs in just a moment, but we're going to do one more movement here before that. Feel free to go there first, though, if you need to. From this prone position, lift your right foot off the mat, bending your knee, and let's just take some rolls of our ankle here. If it cracks, if it pops, that's totally normal, but don't push it into a certain rotation that is just not available for you today. Circle your ankle around the opposite way. Good. And then lower your right foot back down to the mat and just bring your left foot up. Easy, roll your left ankle around. Feeling the sensation of your breath underneath you, the support of the floor underneath you. Circle your ankle around the other way. Good, and then release your foot back down to the floor. Nice and gently turn yourself onto your back. We're going to take about a minute or two of Shavasana. If it pulls on your low back to have your legs straight, then put your feet on the floor. For years, I used to do Shavasana like this. There's no rule that says your legs have to be straight. Settle into a shape that's comfortable for you. You have your blankets nearby, so maybe you roll up a blanket and put it under your neck for an extra pillow, or you roll it up under your knees, or maybe you lay it over your body. Hear the invitation of Jesus today, friend. Come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Receive this gift of rest. Don't work for it. Don't strive for it. Don't prove yourself worthy for it. Come to Jesus and receive it. Take a nice deep breath in here. A nice deep breath out. Thank you, Jesus, that you don't require us to be perfect, that you don't ask us to give 100% effort to prove ourselves worthy of your love or our calling. You say, come, receive, be restored. So today we come. We lean on your rest. Help us to become aware of the sensations in our body and curious about what they're telling us. Let them be invitations to know you more. We thank you, Jesus. Amen. Thank you, friend, for practicing with me today. I hope this practice blessed you in a new way. And make sure you subscribe to my channel to be notified when new videos drop. And if you enjoyed this practice and want more like it, come join me in the Abbey. The Abbey is an online, at-home yoga sanctuary where I teach lots of yoga classes every month. We have meditation recordings, prayer resources. It is a beautiful global community, and we would love to welcome you in. You can get more info at theyogaabbey.com. Come yoga with me there, and I'll meet you back on your mat again soon.